I have never seen this before, ever. Since I've been doing these millennial real life budget reviews, I have looked at a lot of different budgets, but never have I ever seen two sisters, one budget, and shared debts. Let's take a look in this episode. Hey guys, welcome back to the Debt Free Millennials channel. I'm your host, Justine. This channel is all about achieving financial confidence, crushing debt so that you can have more fun and fewer payments. If that sounds good to you and you're into the debt-free lifestyle or wanna be, go ahead and click that red subscribe button. Today we are taking a look at two sisters that share a budget and share some debts. I have never, it actually brought up this question for me because I have two sisters. I'm like, what if we shared a budget? What if we all shared our student loan debt? Because at one point in time, we all had student loan debt. And one of them had a car loan too. So it was like, that would be so weird. I'm sure they would be like, this is great, because Justine knows all about the budgeting, and I would kind of be like, well, you're spending, wah. Just kidding. They actually have great spending tastes in groceries and food. They buy some really nice stuff. I'm totally on a tangent. We're getting back to the review. So this is a registered behavioral technician from Nashville, Tennessee. They said the biggest thing that they are struggling with financially is trying not to stress about the debt, knowing that they are going to give their all, do it all to have it paid off in 3 years is the goal. Now, speaking of goals, they have a couple of them. The first is to pay off $30,000 in debt, build an emergency fund, and open up a Roth account by August 2024. That's super specific. And honestly, you could probably go ahead and do that now. You can open up a Roth account and not necessarily have to fund it right away, but you could just have it open to just check that off of your money to-do list. Now, they have $4,000 in an emergency fund, and then they gave me some background, and they live together in an apartment. They put their incomes together. They actually have 2 Discover cards that they're trying to pay off in 2 personal loans, and they also put Invisalign on their debts. $1,500 per person on the Invisalign. Guys, did I tell you about Smile Direct Club? That's how this happened. Smile Direct Club is literally half the cost of Invisalign, and it is so awesome. You don't have to get dots on your teeth. You don't have to go into a dentist. Like, they send you everything. It's amazing. I digress. So they're putting money aside for that as well. Let's go ahead and pop into their budget and see what's going on. Okay, sisters. Let's figure this out. So $5,800 in total monthly income between the two of you. And then I see they did mention that they had a car loan that is completely paid off. Hooray. And then they've got 2 Discover cards, 2 personal loans, and here's the total. So together they've got $31,346 in debt. Let's take a look at the budget. So they're paying $2,200 in rent. I went ahead and calculated that out to you for percentages because I was like, oh, 2,200 out of 58 seems a little high, and it is. We've got almost 38% going towards rent. In Nashville, I think you can do much better than this. Ideally, I want this at maximum 35%, but really we're taking a look between 25 and 35%. If you could do 30% of your combined income going towards rent, I think that's really gonna help you out and go a long ways towards your debt-free journey. So if I was to do that, let's do 30% of the $5,800. If you could find a rental place, a 2-bed for around $1,700, that would be so much better for you. So that's already one area that I see. Take a look at when your lease is ending, and take a look at rental properties around the Nashville area that are around $1,700, $1,800, and let's get you moved into that place, because then we're gonna save ourselves around $400 a month. Speaking of $400 a month, what? $415 for your cell phone? I'm assuming it's both of you because everything else has been combined. This is way too high. I'm assuming you have a device payment plan. You probably have mobile insurance, like mobile protection on it, and a really astronomically high cell phone data plan. Oh my goodness, this is way too high. This really needs to be around $30 to $35 per month for your data plan, I highly recommend Mint Mobile. If you're in Nashville, Mint Mobile is there. You've got the protection, you've got the coverage because you're accessing the same cell towers as the T-Mobile network. I know this because I've been using Mint Mobile for close to 2 years now, and it has been amazing. The unlimited data plans are $30 a month. It's easy, no frills, no fuss. Simple. Let's get this knocked down. And once we get your emergency fund is already built up. So if I was you, I would drop the mobile protection plan and save yourself the $20 a month that I think you're paying, because typically that's what I'm seeing. The emergency fund is built in place for you to cover things like if your cell phone gets dropped in the toilet, if you have something go wrong or haywire with your cell phone, the emergency fund is there to cover it. And think about this. Wouldn't it be nice if you took that $20 in mobile protection that you're putting into paying every single month into a high yield savings account that's earning 4.25% interest, and you get to keep the money? Yes, that's what we need to be doing with the cell phone. So if I was nitpicking your budget, that's easily an area that needs to be addressed. Internet, but you're completely going opposite on internet by only paying $30 a month, which is incredible. $2.50 for groceries looks fantastic. Gas, I'm assuming it's for both of you. You guys are commuting to work. That's all right. Electric car insurance of $400 a month. I know they mentioned that this was for both of their cars. This is just so high. So high. I highly recommend looking into the EXPERIAN auto insurance comparison tool for you to figure out what exactly is going on and seeing if you can get some quotes, because that's just so high. Unless there are like tickets or anything where you've had an accident and that's what's driving up the premium cost, be sure to check out my car insurance video. Watch that and then do the steps inside of that video that I tell you to do, because that's really going to help you save on your premiums. And then pet insurance. So you didn't mention a pet in your application, but okay, so pet insurance of $110. I've actually seen pet insurance premiums a lot lower than $110, more like $60. So that's also another area that you could take a look at. And then the dental, they said, was the Invisalign costs. And then absolutely no spending on restaurant, shopping, clothing, which is really surprising. Is that really the case? Because a lot of times when I'm doing these budgets, these are very popular categories where people tend to overspend. Car saving of $50, that actually, any of the car saving stuff would really go in future. Just a little side thing. Fund money of $200, tithing of $40, and then vacation fund of $100. Let's take a look at truly what your basic living expenses are. I can tell you exactly how much your emergency fund should be. So right now you only have about 1 month of living expenses saved, which is amazing. We want to build this up to at least 2 months of living expenses set aside in an emergency fund, which is $8,400 for you guys. So really the bulk of your money needs to be going towards that emergency fund down here. This is where I would really strongly suggest moving things like making changes like the cell phone plan and the car insurance, taking a look at that and start funneling money into the emergency fund. Like we could move vacation fund $100 and you have a net of $405 right here. So if we did $400 here, that gets the money moving in the right direction. So really step number one for you in terms of your goals is to build this up to a 2-month emergency fund. Then once that's built up, and like I said, if you could move into a rental that is more like $1,800 a month, oh my gosh, then we could put $800 towards the emergency fund, keeping your debt payments, minimum payments all the same. Like pay the minimums right now, focus on that emergency fund. That's what really needs to get built up. Then we can go over to your debt payoff plan. So here's kind of what I built out for you if we were to start this in November. I don't think that's realistically what's going to happen, because I think what's going to happen is we're going to be spending the rest of the year trying to save up $4,000 very, very quickly to hit that emergency fund. So let's call this, I'm going to call this January of 2024. let's just see. Let's just push you a little bit to get you going and light a fire to get that emergency fund built up. Then we can take a look at your debts. So all in, you're making about $900 in minimum monthly payments. If we were to funnel $400 extra into the debt, we get you paid off completely in 2 years, 9 months. I love that because I think, what did you say what your goal was? Pay off your $30,000 in debt. Okay, yeah, so I just checked my notes and you did say 3 years that you wanted to become completely debt-free, and you're doing it. You do it. 2 years, 9 months once you start the debt-free plan. Keep in mind, you have to work on building up that starter emergency fund first. Once that's in place, then you can really go crazy on the debt, and you can do it by either the stair-stepper method, which has the Discover cards grouped together, and then you're paying off the lowest balance here, and then grouping the personal loans together. It's grouping by the smallest balance and then paying it off according to highest interest rate. So I really like this plan for you. Let me take a look at if you were to pay by highest interest rate across all of them. It just moves the personal loans up. So you still, at the end, still are paying it off within 2 years, 9 months, but it's the order of what happens first with the first 3 loans. So that's for highest interest rate. Let's take a look at lowest outstanding balance. This would be nice for a quick win. If you want to go for the quick win, then you would pay off the Discover card, the 1700 one, in 4 months, and then in 9 months, the second Discover card. So 2024 would look amazing for you. And then the rest of the time would be spent on those personal loans. And then keep in mind, over the next 2-3 years, I have a hunch that your income is going to go up. And if you play your cards right by really lowering that monthly rent expense, you could pay it off even faster. So this one was, I feel like, a quick and dirty one. And the only kind of crazy thing, weird thing for me, I guess, is that this was a combined budget for the sisters, but I guess it makes sense if you're living together. The debts, the shared debts, I don't know. I've never seen this before. Would you share your budget and start budgeting together with your sibling? Let me know in the comments. I think I would. I think I could totally budget and do a shared budget in income and expenses with my sisters and call it a day, because I love doing this kind of stuff, so it's my jam. If you want your budget anonymously reviewed on the channel, be sure to fill out the Google form below. The more details that you can give me, the better recommendations that I can give you, so that you can walk away with a great plan for your financial goals. If you like these types of videos, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next one.